Whatever dream you have, be consistent. Whatever goal you got in mind, just be consistent. And it's not being consistent, and it's the main thing. It's not being consistent on days when you feel it, when you feel like doing something. I call those motivation highs. A motivation high is when you just fired up to do something. You just pumped up. It's easy to be consistent that day. You know you're gonna do it. It's those days where you don't feel like doing it. It's those days you don't feel like believing in yourself. You just don't feel it. It's those days you feel depressed. It's those days where you feel like nothing is going your way. Those are days where you gotta be consistent. Those are the days I value the most.
Welcome to another edition of the His Healthy Habits podcast. I am Mr. Triple H, and today is Manifestation Monday, and I got the man himself, Mr. Anthony Qualls, the Inspirational Motivational speaker, and much, much more. Get ready to get some great tips. Today we're talking about consistency. What's up, Ant?
What's going on, Reggie? Man, hey, glad to be back. Glad to be doing episode 2. But yeah, let's get right into it. Let's get right to the meat and potato, consistency. When I think of consistency, the main thing that comes to my head is a plan, right? You want to have a plan to make sure that whatever you want to achieve, that you can stick to it. Because when you stick to something, the best thing that can happen, you get better with time, right? So I always encourage people, when you want to be consistent at something, write down 5 reasons why you should be consistent. Because most times you need a motive. You need a reason why you need to be consistent, right? Because this will happen with most people. Most times we have temporary consistency. Let me say it one more time. We have temporary consistency. So temporary consistency look like, all right, for instance, I might have a birthday coming up. Let me get in shape. I got a vacation coming up. Let me go ahead and try to lose some weight. I gotta go out of town, or I gotta do something. That's temporary consistency. The being consistent is not that strong enough for you to do it over and over and over again. When you got a dream on something, you gotta stick to that plan. The best thing you can do is stay on track. Because when you stay on track, you understand that regardless what come in between or regardless what transpire, long as if I can stay on track, long as I can stay on this vision, long as I can keep myself uphold, everything will work out. Everything will prevail. Consistency is not something that happened overnight. So, for instance, right, it take 100 pennies to make $1. 100. So, if I save 1 penny for one day, do I get $1? No. If I save another penny the following day, do I get $1? No. But if I stay consistent enough to save a penny for the next 100 days, what do I get? $100. But now, this the catchy part about it. That don't mean that I might find that very next penny the very next day. That don't mean that I might find that 3rd, 4th, or 5th penny the very next week, the very next month, or maybe the very next year. I might have to be consistent over the course of maybe 5, 6 years in order for me to reach that $1. But when I finally reach the $1, of that value of the $1 gonna be worth so much because I stayed consistent. Consistency is not a get rich quick scheme. Consistency does not happen overnight. You can't sit right here and have a vision to be great in whatever your goal is and expect it to be overnight or expect for it to come quick. You got to understand one thing. If you want to be great at something, you're going to have to stick to that plan, stick to that regimen, and understand that you got to do it over and over and over again. If you got a routine, for instance, for me, when I wanted to lose weight, I understand that I would have to be consistent enough to show up to the gym every day. I consistently reminded myself my why on why I started. Because if I don't consistently remind myself, I fall off. Because you got 2 different plateauness. You can get physically plateaued where your weight not moving. And we're just talking fitness, the weight not moving, but then you got mental plateauness. And mentally, that's the one that does affect the worst. So in order to overcome that, I have to remind myself every single day on why I'm doing what I'm doing. Every single day on why why I have to achieve this vision, why I have to achieve this goal, because if I don't, I can easily fall off track. In order for you to stay on track, you have to remind yourself on why are you doing the goal, or why are you achieving the vision that you got in your mind. Being consistent is you understanding that if somebody come to you and they tell you, all right, I took a different route to achieve this goal. Or your family members come to you and they tell you, you might not need to do this because this might be best for you. Can you stay consistent enough to stay on that vision? If God put it in your heart, if he gave you the goal in mind, it could be a reason why. And a lot of times we feel like things are not for us because we just didn't stay consistent for it to show that it was for us from the beginning. Everything causes us to keep doing something over and over and over again. If you get tired of doing that thing that's going to make you great, do you really want to be great? If you get tired of the thing that's going to bring you to your goal, do you really want that goal? If you get tired of something that's going to better you, do you really want to get better? And that's the question you got to ask yourself. If being consistent is not annoying you, then you're not being consistent. You just want to do it temporarily. Everybody got temporary goals. You can't do something for a few days, a few weeks, and expect for something to work out for you. You can't walk on a path and think there's not gonna be no loopholes in it. There's not gonna be no potholes in it, or there's not gonna be some holes in it that's gonna make you fall. Consistent is a word that can change your life. If you stay and stick to it, it can literally change your entire life. Whatever goal you got, whatever vision you got to conquer, whatever it is, if you want to be the best singer, if you want to open up a t-shirt brand, if you want to be the best lash tech, if you whatever it is, can you stay consistent? If you a player on any sort of a team, if you don't make that team, can you stay consistent on practicing? Can you stay consistent on showing up every day? It's a regimen. It's a plan that you have that you're going to look at this plan and be like, you know what, I'm going to do this every single day until I get better. If you got to show up at 6 a.m. every morning in order to invest that time into yourself, can you do it? That's being consistent. Consistent feeds into every other aspect of your life. Because like I said in the beginning, when you do something over and over and over again, the only thing about it, you only get better with time. If you want to start anything in your life right now, that's been in a relationship cause consistent, you got to consistently show the person affection. You can't just choose one day, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and, I'm gonna show love this day, next day, I ain't gonna show. No, you gotta do it every day. Consistency is something that you have to put in the work in you got to work the progress. You have to work it. You got to know that if you don't sit right here and show up for yourself and show up for your dreams and show up for what you want out of life, somebody's going to take it. So can you be consistent enough? Everybody have dreams, but only a few people attack while they're awake. So can you be consistent enough to understand that whatever you got on the table, you have to keep on doing it every day. Stuff gonna happen regardless. Life gonna come to you. Stuff is gonna knock you off track. But the only person that can actually stop you on track is really you. Look at a train, for instance. The only thing that can stop a train on track is that train. That's the only thing. Yeah, it might take a different course. Stuff might come in the way. You might have some cold days, might have some rainy days, but that train has to keep on moving. If you're tired of where you're at in your life right now, how are you going to be consistent? If you're tired of feeling like life is not going your way right now, what are you going to do to be consistent? If you're tired of looking in the mirror and not loving yourself, or not feeling like you're not the best version of yourself, what can you do to be consistent? If you want to attack a dream, if you want to be good at something, what can you do to be consistent? When you get so happy about, man, I got this big vision, think about consistency, because that's something that's gonna play a huge impact on any goal you want to achieve. When you're feeling down and out, how can you stay consistent? When you feel like things not going your way, how can you stay consistent? When you feel like there's no resources at that moment, how can you stay consistent? One thing about me, the reason why I value consistency, because I seen it change my life. I seen how it helped me lose 100 pounds. Even when I did not feel like working out, I'm like, man, if I just show up to the gym, I know for a fact I'm going to find the motivation somewhere. If I just show up for myself, I know I can find just a little dose of inspiration somewhere. So let me just go to the gym. I ain't gonna think twice about it. I'm just gonna show. I'm gonna be consistent. I'm gonna stick to the plan. I'm gonna work the progress, because the end goal is still in mind. What's the vision? What's your motive? Do you really have a strong motive to stay consistent? Because if you fall off track, maybe your why just wasn't strong enough. Maybe the reason why you started something wasn't powerful enough to keep you going. It was just for that time being. Why do you really want to start what you want to do to be consistent? What dream or what goal did you got that's gonna make you really want to sit right here and keep on doing it over and over for years? It might just take years. Let's take that to the fact. It might just take you a while to get there. Are you gonna be okay with that? Can you wholeheartedly ask yourself, what if it took me a year to lose 100 pounds? For some people, it could have took a shorter time. For some, it might took longer. But I was so willing enough to sacrifice everything that I had to make sure that I achieved this goal. That's even with my own brand, Be Superior. You got to be consistent to have that same energy every day into the best and believe in yourself. Believing in yourself, you got to be consistent. One day you can't be like, man, all right, you can't look in the mirror and say, you are the best, whatever you're doing. The next day be like, man, I just ain't feeling it. On them days you not feeling it, how you going to be consistent? On them days, everything is just really feeling like it crashed down on you. You got to ask yourself that one single word. What are you going to do to be consistent? Find a way. Find a way to be consistent. Find a way to continue to believe in that dream that you got. The biggest thing is, you want to be great. You want to be awesome like we all do. But we can't lack of being consistent. We can't sit right here and feed in on a day we feeling bad for ourselves when we just don't show up. We can't feed into the day we letting outside people that don't even have the same vision as us allow us to not show up. Listen, family members going to want the best for you, but not every family member going to see the best in you. And you got to understand that one thing. So when you experience those things, how are you going to stay consistent? You can't have temporary consistency. You can't have temporary goals, because when you reach it, you're not going to be consistent no more. What's the biggest thing you can do to keep you on track? You got to be like a moving train. You got to knock every obstacle out of course. No matter what's in front of you, you got to keep on going. Can't nothing stop you. No matter what's in front of you, you're not gonna give up on yourself. No matter what's in front of you, you're not gonna feel sorry for yourself. No matter what's in front of you, you're gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving that needle. Keep on putting one step in front of another. It's not about how fast you can win a race. It's all about how can you win a race. It's not about how fast you can get to the finish line. It's all about you getting to the finish line. You got to ask yourself this one single question. This goal that I got right now, how can I be consistent? How can I show for myself every single day? What's your motive? What's the motive? The goal and the motive has to match in order for consistency to empower both concepts. Whatever you want to reach in your life, you got to sit right here and say, I'm going to sit right here and I'm going to do all the groundwork to make sure I reach it. They might be waking up early in the morning. They might be staying out. They might be staying later at night. Some days you might not get no sleep. Are you willing to go through some days where you don't get no sleep to be consistent? Are you willing to go through some days where you just might be broke, just being consistent? Are you ready to lose some friends you've been rocking with for years just from being consistent? Because people might say you changed because you'd rather spend the next 6 months, year, or 2 years focusing on yourself so you can better yourself. If you tired being where you at, if you tired being where you at right now in life, ask yourself, how was your consistency over the years? If you keep starting something, not finishing it, you start something, you're not finishing it. You start something, you're not finishing it. That speaks a lot on your consistency. A lot of things can be easier said than done, but it still can be done. And when you're looking at those goals, I really do encourage you just to write down 5 things to why you need to be consistent. And that's gonna show you why you can't give up. If it's your kids, understand that you got to keep on moving that train because your kids depend on you to be consistent. If it's your health, you got to understand if you don't be consistent, you might not be here for long. Is it to chase after your dreams? You got to understand that if you don't be consistent, that vision that you once had, somebody else can get it. Because if you don't utilize your gift, God just might bless somebody else with it. So how can you stay consistent? Do you really want whatever you trying to work hard for? Because it's going to take your time. It's going to take a lot of hard work. And you might not see the fruits of what you're working for in a timely manner that you want to see it. It's all work in your favor, but that part of the process going to come with you continually doing something over and over and over and over again. Because when you keep on doing something, you start learning the different aspects of whatever you're doing. Then you start getting better. For example, if your goal is to be wealthy, but you don't be consistent enough to learn how to get there, if you get it too early, you might lose it. If you get it too soon, you might abuse it. We honestly have to sit right here and do something over and over and over again. Same instance. If you go to the gym one day, you're not gonna get the results that you want. If you go to it 2 days, you're not gonna get the results that you want. Consistency brings self-development. It brings growth. It lets you realize how powerful you really are. Because when you sit right there, you do something over and over again, and you start realizing how you achieve, and you start stepping, you start getting great at it one by one, little by little. There's a self-recognition that comes along with that. Your confidence get high. Your self-esteem arise. The way you walk is a little different. The way you talk on me a little different. The next goal that you got to achieve, you get fired up for it because now you know you can do it. You know that you can stick to something and be great at it. You know that if you set your mind to attack this goal, you know you're going to get it. That's what consistency does for you. It allow you to turn into a superhero. It brings that much power into your mind to realize that if I can do this, the sky is truly the limit. Being consistent breaks limitations. It breaks the point that if somebody say that because that didn't work out for them, it might not work out for you. No, they wasn't consistent enough. Their mindset wasn't strong enough to stick to the regimen, to stick to the game plan. The greatest athletes wasn't the greatest overnight. Michael Jordan wasn't the great overnight. He stayed consistent to work on his craft. The best companies in the world didn't come fortunate enough overnight. They stay consistent in their business to learn what works for them. It's growth. It's a learning curve. It teaches you so much about whatever you're doing to get better. The best thing you can ever do for yourself is stay consistent. It's power in consistency. It's a powerful, powerful word. It can truly change your life if you let it. All you got to do is, when you have a goal, stick to that goal and just keep on doing it. And that's whatever it is. No matter whatever the goal is, keep on doing it until you get better. Keep on doing it until you get results. You got one result, keep on doing it until you get another. Because everything that you want to do is going to work out in your favor. Overnight success is not consistency. It just get rich quick. So it does take time, but that's okay. Add up your pennies. Allow one penny to add up every single day. Make it make sense. That's all. Because when you get to the whole value of your goal, you're going to understand why it took you that time to get there. Stay consistent, believe in yourself, and understand that your goals does take time. And it's not going to happen overnight, and that's okay. You don't need everybody in your ear to tell you to keep on doing something. Their vision is not the same as yours. The main thing you got to do is be a moving train. Just keep that in mind. Be a moving train. Regardless of coming your way, regardless of coming your side, you're going to keep that train on track. You got to stay on track. Regardless of how hard it gets, no matter what it is, be consistent and understand that whatever you want to go in life, whatever you want to achieve in life, it's going to take you sitting right here doing it, doing the groundwork, doing your homework, doing it over and over again until you get better at it, until you understand that you got to sit right here and do this until you get to the goal that you want to achieve in life. Because it's so possible. Nothing is impossible. Whatever dream you have, be consistent. Whatever goal you got in mind, just be consistent. And it's not being consistent, and it's the main thing. It's not being consistent on days when you feel it, when you feel like doing something. I call those motivation highs. A motivation high is when you just fired to do something. You just pumped up. It's easy to be consistent that day. You know you're going to do it. It's those days where you don't feel like doing it. It's those days you don't feel like believing in yourself. You just don't feel it. It's those days you feel depressed. It's those days where you feel like nothing is going your way. Those are days where you gotta be consistent. Those are the days I value the most. Any day I was going to the gym and nothing was going my way, I might have a bad day. I might not been feeling like it. I'm just so tired. I ask myself, how can I stay consistent today? Cause those are your value days. It's not the motivation days where you just feel pumped up. It was those days where you really face some trial and error. It's them days you really face some hard times. And you just down to your knees, you don't know what to do. It's the days that you crying hard tears, and you don't know how to keep on going. It's them days you really just want to throw in the towel and say, I quit. I give up. I don't want to do this no more. How can you stay consistent? Those are the days that matter. It's the days where people not that you want to believe in you not believing in you. How you gonna stay consistent? Everything gonna have its course. Everything gonna work out in a way it should. But you have to stay on track. Don't lose focus. Don't fall off. Stay consistent. Stick to your motive. And don't have temporary consistency. Don't be consistent because you got something just coming up. No. Be consistent because there's a strong motive on why your life needs to change. And it can change. You can be the best whatever you're doing right now. Only if you stay consistent. Let me tell you how consistency really worked out for me. When I stayed consistent, I went from, my goal at first was only to lose 50 pounds. That was the goal. I was like, man, I think it was 30 pounds or so. That was the goal. I was like, man, I just want to lose 30 pounds. I never really lost that much. I mean, I don't think I never lost no more than about 20 pounds at that point. So my goal was lose 30 pounds. As I got 30, I'm like, nah, let me try 50. Once I got what 50 feel like, I'm like, nah, let me go to 75. I kind of feel like I could do more. Once I got to 70, I'm being consistent. Every time I was staying consistent, I was able to set a new goal. But if I wasn't consistent enough to meet the first goal, I wasn't able to meet the second. It's the next level up. It's a building block. You build now. I'm building my consistency at this point. So now once I got to 75, I'm like, I don't know how I feel like to reach 100. Now when I got to 100, I'm like, ooh, I found my purpose. That's how powerful consistency. I found the reason why I need to walk the life that I need to walk. Consistency gave me a purpose to keep on going. It got me to where I'm doing now. If I didn't stay going to the gym to just to lose 30 pounds, I don't know where I'll be. But I continue to show up for myself every single day. Because I knew deep in my heart that I can be a better version of the person I'm looking in the mirror. And it all started from one goal. Just one simple goal. Just to lose weight. That's all I wanted to do. Because I never done it before. So then when I got down from the first goal, my consistency started feeling that fire. I started feeling myself. I'm like, man, hold on. I think I can really do this. I think I got something going. I think I'm on the right track. So now I'm like, let me up the goal up a little bit. Let me go lose a little bit more. And that's how it happened. Everything connected to one another. I stayed to the game plan on why I need to stay on track. I was sticking to my motives. I consistently, every single day, wrote down, I'm losing 100 pounds consistently wrote it down every single day. Because I understood that in order for me to get to where I need to go to, it's going to have to be something I do over and over and over again. And I built a lot of mental toughness to not give up. So now I move different. I walk different. I move with more sense of urgency. I move like I believe in myself. And it all came from being consistent. The word can change your life. It can change your family life. It can change the people around you, your friends, your kids, whoever. It can change. Just be consistent and don't give up on yourself. That's the power of being consistency. From Anthony Qualls, man. Peace out.